Naked Gun, the 1988 original starring Leslie Nielsen, has now been remade in 2025, starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. But can it deliver? Is it actually funny? Or is it just a cheap cash grab? Hello, welcome back to the AJ Review Show, episode 21. Been waiting for this film for a long time. I remember it was announced. I remember thinking, why has Liam Neeson been cast in this? And why are they remaking the beloved film from all those years ago? Surely this is just a cash grab, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's talk about it. Akiva Schaffer directs, who also directed Popstar and Hot Rod, and also stars in Popstar as Lawrence.
You have to kill him. Well, after you do it, they usually kill him. Well...
Very, very funny film. He's obviously a very well-versed director in comedy. Produced by Seth MacFarlane, you'll know from doing Family Guy. You can really see his voice throughout the film, and the two together, I think, are a fantastic duo for making a comedy, which is exactly what this is. It is a remake, as I've already said, of the original Naked Gun made in 1988, which was made from a TV series called Police Squad, which was very well loved. The rough idea is that there's this very special police force within LA who is headed up by a man with some very special skills, Frank Drebin. Now, the remake is Frank Drebin Jr., like I've already said, with Liam Neeson. But within the films, basically, there is some deadly plot to destroy LA or the world, and it's down to Frank Drebin to figure out what's going to happen and how he's going to save the day. And usually within all this, especially in the original, you do get a damsel in distress or a dame in there, and you get that with Pamela Anderson. The two of them are fantastic on screen, and if you did not already know this, the two of them are now dating, which I think is just quite lovely. So, Liam Neeson, you'll know from Taken and Schindler's List. He is the son of the original Frank Drebin. You do get like a couple of homages to Leslie Nielsen in it, which I really, really appreciated. He said in an interview that he was going to try and play it as seriously as possible because he thought that would make it funny, and it really does. You get to see his humour side there's a scene in Ted 2 where he's trying to buy a box of tricks, which is like a cereal. I'd recommend you watch it. It's very funny. It's on YouTube.
Hey. Hello. I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
But he does such a good job, given how serious he is, of showing the detective side, but also a serious comedic side. I think he's a really good cast for this. Then you have Pamela Anderson, you know from Baywatch and The Last Showgirl, which I reviewed as fantastic. She plays Beth Davenport, the smoking hot broad in the film. She is the sort of antidote to Liam Neeson's seriousness, and the two of them on screen have genuinely, obviously, real chemistry because they're together, but they have some of the funny scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Honestly, probably the hardest I've ever laughed in a cinema was during this one very specific scene. Just absolutely brilliant, really well written. The two of them on screen are just fantastic. And she also does, honestly, a very surprisingly good job of a serious role and a jokey role at the same time, the same as Liam Neeson does. So I really, really liked it. It's a good bit of casting. And then Paul Walter Hauser, Blackbird and Fantastic Four, is Captain Ed Hocken, the sidekick of Frank throughout the film. I wish I'd seen slightly more of him, but very funny. He's naturally funny in everything I've seen him in. I really liked him in this. He's the same kind of humour in Fantastic Four. Good role, good cast, good casting throughout. Then a couple of extra mentions. You've got Danny Houston, who plays the villain. I really liked him. I don't think he's the best villain in the world, but none of the villains in these films are. They're not serious films. That's what you really have to know going in. They're comedic. He's good. Then you have also Liza Koshy, who you'll recognise from Vine. I did straight away. She just kind of fills the crowd out. It's nothing particularly special with her. I don't see her going on to do anything amazing, but, you know, another face you'll recognise. So the biggest thing I was worried about going into this film is that it was just going to fall flat on its face. The original is so iconic and is very tongue-in-cheek, and at times completely crosses over the line of what was PC at the time, and definitely what is, you know, politically correct now. And I was worried that they wouldn't really be able to bring the same energy in this film, but I really think it's actually paid off big time, and that the humour is just as good, probably, as the original. The comedy is consistent throughout the whole film. I watched it in it wasn't a particularly overly packed cinema. I can't imagine the reach for this has been humongous. I'm kind of hoping people would just sort of stumble onto it and then find the love for the originals as well, and Police Squad, because that's a very funny series as well. But the humour is there throughout. The whole cinema, like I said, not that many people, but we were filling that cinema with laughter. It is raunchy, it's daring, it's about as tongue-in-cheek as you can get today. It really does err on the side of, bloody hell, can they even say or do this? I really liked it. There are some really creative ideas as well that push the action of the film along and just really drive the whole plot. It's just very creative humour throughout. It is kind of like one long Simpsons or Family Guy episode, or if you've seen the original, you're not going to be disappointed. I actually do think they did a very good job. Plot-wise, the film is the exact same as the original. Very similar set pieces. They end up at a sports event at the end with a ton of cameos from UFC fighters, which is really cool, but they don't that much from the original script. It is a remake. It's kind of like a fourth one, but it is almost exactly the same as the original. And honestly, the plot's very simple. You're not really going there for a great story or an amazing piece of cinematography or anything like that. You're going there to laugh your ass off. And if you're going there for anything else and you come and you're like, I didn't like that, that's basically your own problem. You've done that to yourself. But if you're going in there for a good laugh, a very simple plot, and just to really enjoy watching something on a big screen that is daring and is actually funny, then this is perfect for you. But the plot is very, very similar and very, very simple. Also goes on a bunch of tangents. There's a really funny tangent where there's like a montage and they go away on holiday. That also had me absolutely howling with laughter. I really, really am glad they haven't tried to make this into like a serious film or really change the idea of it. They've just gone with the original, and I love that. The cinematography is kind of part of the joke in this film. They pack in a lot of gags that are to do with the angle of the camera or green screens, fourth wall breaks, stuff like that. It feels almost kind of like Deadpool inspired at times. I really liked it. They've just gone the whole 9 yards with making this as funny as they possibly can, and it really pays off. Alongside this as well, the script is very, very on the nose. It plays into the silliness of the film really well. Like I said, it's very reminiscent of the original. Neeson has so many one-liners throughout the film that everything to do with the film is not really about driving the plot or creating great characters or anything like that. Everything to do with the film is just to do with making it as funny as possible. There are if you look in the back of all the scenes, there are funny signs, business names, people's names, even in the credits there's jokes. Everything about this film was just trying to make you laugh. Overall, I'd say, even down to the montages, it's a fantastic love letter to the original. I genuinely would watch another one if it was as good as this. I would very happily watch it as well. The on-screen chemistry between Neeson and Pamela Anderson, I really enjoyed. I thought those two were excellent. Some good cameos, some good side roles. The casting overall is pretty solid, but you're there to have a laugh. I'm going to give this film 3 stars. I just really enjoyed it. It was very funny, and that's all I wanted to see. It hasn't let me down. I feel like it's done a good enough job to be a real solid remake. I expect they probably will make another one as long as this one does well at the box office. And that is The Naked Gun. Thank you so much for watching another episode. This one has been short and sweet. If you're looking for a film to go and laugh your ass off, this is absolutely perfect. The Naked Gun, the original, the remake, Detective Squad. Just have a laugh, honestly. Don't expect too much from this film. The plot's not crazy. The casting's alright. The characters are fun. The one-liners. The creative cinematography. I just really enjoyed it. It's a fun film. And that's been the AJ Review Show. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that episode. If you could just drop me a subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. That'd be really helpful. You can now find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd, all at AJ Reviews 101. And click to watch this video up here that YouTube recommended. Enjoy.